Hi, I'm Graham and welcome back to Man vs Film. This is a list of top 10 movies that you can watch on Amazon Prime US right now for the month of June 2018. So let's get started. Number 10, Rocky. Rocky Balboa is a struggling boxer trying to make the big time, working as a debt collector for a pittance. When heavyweight champion Apollo Creed visits Philadelphia, his managers want to set up an exhibition match between Creed and a struggling boxer, touting the fight as a chance for the nobody to become a somebody. A movie that began a legacy. Sylvester Stallone's Rocky Balboa is one of the mainstays of cultural cinema. He is a character that I love to be invested in, and this is where he got his start, from somebody that felt as if his time had passed him by to suddenly becoming somebody possible of achieving greatness. The movie is terrific. It's got some great noticeable scenes in it. It is just a masterpiece of a movie. Won a couple of Oscars because it is that good. It's often forgotten and spawned a legacy of movies, and we're about to get Creed 2, which is part 7, 8 in the Rocky franchise. So yeah, time to go back and check out the original, and one of the best in my opinion. Number 9, Insomnia. Two Los Angeles homicide detectives are dispatched to northern town where the sun doesn't set to investigate the methodical murder of a local teen. But when tragedy strikes the detectives, one of them ends up in a never-ending nightmare of daylight and mounting pressure. Christopher Nolan's remake of a movie of the same name, which starred Al Pacino and Robin Williams. It is about a person's struggle. It is a thriller that kind of puts this main character right through the ringer. He is somebody who you kind of like at one moment, detest at the next, but ultimately, you know, he's trying to stop something more heinous than something that I don't want to mention to you right now. You need to check out the movie to figure out what that is. It's set in a town where the sun doesn't set, and it adds a whole new sort of problems to this person who can't sleep. That's where the title comes out of, and who becomes embroidered in this investigation and interacting on a personal level with the killer. Number 8, The Crow. Eric Draven and his fiancée are brutally murdered on Devil's Night, a night when the henchmen of crime boss Top Dollar traditionally indulge in wanton acts of vengeance, violence and arson. A crow brings Draven's restless soul back from the dead, and he sets about to wreak revenge upon his killers. Alex Proyas' movie from 1994 starring Brandon Lee was a cut above the typical superhero movie that we'd got back then. This is an anti-hero. This is someone who is drenched in kind of gothic colours in this forever torrential rain environment against these even more horrible people. It is visually striking, it is haunting, it is a movie that lasts with you, and I absolutely adore this movie, and I think it is definitely worth checking out if you've never seen it, or if it's been so long since you last saw it. It's time to hit that button and watch it again. Number 7, Bull Durham. Crash is an ageing minor league ball player brought up from another team to mature a young pitcher with maturity problems. Both of them become involved with Anne, a baseball groupie with her own perspective on the game. There is something about Kevin Costner in sports movies that just go, yeah, I love that. I love that guy. I love the way he plays that sort of everyman, that sort of wiser, older mentor character here. He did it in Tin Cup, he did it in Field of Dreams, which wasn't really a kind of sports movie, but kind of was at the same time. Bull Durham is another one where he is kind of mentoring Tim Robbins' character while other things are going on. This is somebody that could do really well, but just needs the help of this person who's not done as well as they could in the game. And it has this dynamic, you know, he's training this younger kind of self. The cyclical nature of life, and how even if you don't achieve your dreams, you still leave a mark on the planet, and leaving that your kind of offspring to take over the roles and do better than you could do. And it's based on a baseball movie with a kind of love triangle added in for good measure. Number 6, Back to School. Millionaire businessman Thornton Mellon is upset when his son Jason announced that he is not sure about going to college. Thornton insists that college is the best thing he had ever had for himself, and to prove this point, he agrees to enrol in school along with his son. Thornton is a big hit on the campus, always throwing the biggest parties, knowing all the right people, but this is the way to pass college. Back to School is one of those movies that I watched a lot. It's not particularly a deep movie. It doesn't have rich themes, doesn't have a strong sort of storyline to it, but it's fun. It's kind of entertaining. You get some really good performances from Rodney Dangerfield and Keith Gordon, and it's just one of those kind of comfort movies. Number 5, Warrior. The youngest son of an alcoholic former boxer returns home where he is trained by his father for competition in a mixed martial arts tournament, a path that puts the fighter on a collision course with his estranged older brother. Warrior was one of those movies that I wrote off in the cinema, didn't bother going to see it, and I have been kicking myself ever since, because once I discovered this on streaming services, I absolutely loved it. It's a movie that just gets me every single time. It is a fantastic tale of these two brothers hell-bent on achieving this goal for various reasons, both necessary in their lives, both whose point you can see, and when you get to a fight, you're not sure who's going to win, and you don't really want either of them to lose. It's a terrific, entertaining movie, and it has that kind of emotional gut punch as well. Number 4, Manhunter. Will Game is a former FBI agent who recently retired to Florida with his wife Molly and their young son. Graham was a profiler, one who profiles criminals' behaviour and tries to put his mind into the minds of the criminals to examine their thoughts while visiting crime scenes. Will is called out of his self-imposed retirement at the request of former boss to help catch an elusive serial killer known as the Tooth Fairy. Michael Mann's adaptation of the novel Red Dragon is a terrific take on the Hannibal Lecter series before we got Silence of the Lambs, and this is driven by his auteur aesthetic. It has some tremendous performances, some really terrifying ones as well from the bad guy, and this is a movie that every time I put it on, I kind of get engaged but disturbed by it at the same time. It works on both of these levels, and it is completely unmissable. Number 3, CYBORG. Set in a post-apocalyptic future where starvation and disease are plaguing the few remaining inhabitants of Earth, scientists are close to discovering a cure for the plague that is sweeping the country. Gibson is a strong fighter who leads a group to Atlanta to gain information needed for the cure, along the way attempting to avoid the villains. I love Jean-Claude Van Damme action movies, especially ones from this era, from the late 80s, early 90s, and this for me is one of his best. A ridiculously silly storyline, but it's entertaining as hell. You get this villain who is villainous because he has these kind of crazy looking eyes and a willingness to just destroy anybody. It's got a really nice visual about it, and it's just got some amazing action set pieces as well. Number 2, Baywatch. Matt Brody, a disgraced Olympic swimmer, tries to find redemption by filling out one of 3 spots that have opened up for the Baywatch lifeguard team. He must fight his demons, get Mitch and the rest of the team to see there is more to him, get Summer, the girl he likes, to reciprocate, and keep the beach safe and clean. The Rock and Zac Efron star in Baywatch, and it is a really kind of fun adaptation of the old TV series. It adds a lot to that by kind of making this silly crime story interlaced with the fact that these two guys just don't get on, as The Rock tries to teach this old Olympic swimmer who was disgraced how to be a better person. It's silly, but it's kind of fun. It's entertaining, and it has some really comedic moments that just had me killing myself laughing. Number 1, Thief. A highly skilled jewel thief operates a restaurant and a car dealership as covers for his illicitly gained income. He falls for a woman he meets out in the town and gets hired by the local godfather to pull a few heists. In return, the mob arranges a steady flow of cash and a black market adoption for Frank and his girlfriend. When Frank tries to quit the mob, various bad things happen to illustrate the point that he can't quit. Michael Mann's terrific debut movie stars James Caan as the thief, a man of minimum words, a kind of nihilist who is willing to just let his whole world burn in order just to not to give up to these terrible people. He is a thief at heart. He loves the job. He loves pulling it off without causing too much disruption, and these people that he is embroiled with have rules that he does not adhere to, and he doesn't like to be tied down to these people. It is a fantastic character study. It is tremendously well shot. I love the score by Tangerine Dream, and if it's a movie you haven't seen, you have to check this one out. It is terrific. So there's my 10 choices for you to watch this June on Amazon Prime US. If there's anything that I missed out or something that should have been on my list, Let me know in the comment box below, and maybe next month it'll make it onto my list. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Man vs Film.